Auzubillahiminashaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad Shazman and roll number is 1141, and my topic of presentation is electromagnetic spectrum. And in definition, electromagnetic spectrum, we can say it is the range of frequency, and in this range all types of lights can exist and all type of waves and radiations can exist. And now we will move about the spectrums, that electromagnetic spectrum consists of what things. And here we learn about the things which are consisting electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum basically consists of radio waves, cell phone waves, microwaves, radar waves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-ray, and gamma rays. Now we will discuss about different aspects of spectrums, in which first of all I am going to explain band. The electromagnetic band, the electromagnetic spectrum covers electromagnetic waves with frequency ranging from below 1 Hz to above 10 power 25 Hz, and corresponding to wavelength from thousands of kilometers down to a fraction of size of an atomic nucleus. This frequency range is divided into separate bands, and the electromagnetic waves within each frequency bands are called by different names. Beginning at low frequency, long wavelength end of the spectrum, these are radio waves, as we mentioned above, radio waves, microwaves, and ultraviolet gamma rays. Because these all types of waves have properties like wavelength, speed, and frequency. Here we will discuss about the property of waves. As we see in the equation, v is equal to f lambda. Here we can, but here v is all types of waves almost have same speed, and the basic comparison is here between frequency and wavelength. We will also learn about that how wavelength and frequency depend on each other and what is their effect on energy. The limit for long wavelength is the size of the universe itself, and while is it thought that the short wavelength limit is in the vicinity of the Planck length, which is very low. And we can say that some example like gamma rays, X-rays, and high ultraviolet are classified as ionized radiations. And as we see the relationship between the wavelength and the speed, and now we here in this image we can see that as the wavelength have long distance between two nodes, and the frequency is low, and where it is close, nodes are close, it means that wavelength is high and the frequency is greater. So here we can conclude that frequency is indirectly proportional to wavelength. And now we will next about explaining, after we know going to learn that relationship between wavelength and speed. Here we are seeing that as v is equal to f lambda, it means that v speed it's directly proportional to wavelength. As wavelength increases, speed increases. As frequency increases, speed increases. And now we will also see the next topic, that electromagnetic wave and energy. High frequency have high energy because nodes are very close. It is very precision and very it can have high energy. In the image we are seeing that where frequency is high means nodes are very close, the energy is very high, and where the nodes are far from each other's, their energy is low. So energy increases as frequency increases, and energy lower as frequency is lower. We have two types of wavelengths and means limits. First of all, as we discussed above that, the frequency range is so high that the wavelength size is the universal size itself, and the shorter wavelength is the Planck length. Now, the next slide is spectroscopy. What is spectroscopy? Basically, spectroscopy is a technique which is used to physically separate waves of different frequencies, producing a spectrum showing the constituent frequencies. Spectroscopy is used to study the interaction of electromagnetic waves with matter. Other technologies uses are described under electromagnetic. After spectroscopy, now we will discuss about different types of waves. Some, as we said, see that all waves are different, have different bands and different from each other. Now we will discuss about the different types of waves. First of all, I will like to discuss about the microwaves. Longer wave than radio, shorter than infrared or visible light. Wavelength, its range is 1 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 4 to 1 multiplied 10 to the power minus 1 meter. Used for communication, medicine and consumer use. Microwave ones. And the next wave about which we will discuss is radio waves. These waves have low energy waves with long wavelengths, include FM, AM, radar and TV waves. These waves are range of 10 to the power minus 1 and longer and low frequency, used in many devices such as remote control items, cell phones and wireless. And another wave about which we will discuss is that infrared waves. Infrared waves, also electromagnetic waves which is invisible, that can be detected as heat, can be used as a special device such as night goggles used in heat lamps, higher energy than microwaves but lower than visible light. And no, the next wave about which we will discuss is visible light. Visible light is the only light which can be seen by the human and man can detect. We use a term RGBV, in which include all colors red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, which a human eye can detect and see. And now another wave, and we will discuss about another wave, ultraviolet waves. And ultraviolet waves have higher energy than light waves and can cause skin cancer, blindness in human. They are used in pet and sterilizing equipments which are used in medicines and other areas. And the next wave is X-ray. X-ray wave, high energy waves used in medicine industry and astronomy, can cause cancer. And the next about which we will discuss having gamma rays, highest energy plugged from Earth's surface by atmosphere, because it comes to Earth through suns which explore many gases, in which many energies including gamma rays. And now we will discuss about the whole that I discuss about some of these spectrums lights, but there are more, and all these have different properties. These are the mostly used in humans lives. And and thank you very much. May God bless us.